Good evening. It's February 13th, 2025. It's my pleasure and honor to be speaking with a true World War II hero, Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today, Mr. Jeckovich?
Very good, very good.
You're looking well.
Thank you.
Did you have a nice day?
Yes.
Okay. We're reading the 472nd podcast, primarily of Mr. Jeckovich's book, titled Their Mother's Sons. This book was written a couple decades ago and just became to the light of day a few years ago. We weren't even aware, public was not even aware that Mr. Jeckovich was a World War II veteran, combat soldier. The guys back then were very humble and they didn't speak about being on the war front. So now we're bringing it to light, and the book is a great inspiration for young people about the war from an actual veteran, and also how simple life was back in the 20s. Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100. The door is knocking. Mr. Jeckovich will be 100 years old in 2025. Does it feel like yesterday you were just 20?
Yep.
Wow. And it's just you blinked your eye and you're 100.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich, we also nickname him the Super Soldier because he's been beat up, shot by a sniper, stabbed. He's been trench foot, frostbite, which he still suffers from today, and bombed with a really dirty bomb that had like wrenches in it and razors and all types of nasty scrap metal to cause the recipient lots of damage. And that metal, most of that metal is still today in Mr. Jeckovich's leg. The shrapnel still exists. Mr. Jeckovich was one of the few that busted down the gates to the prisoner of war camps and the Holocaust camps. It wasn't something that was a pretty sight. 99% of the people could not take that, and it rent space in Mr. Jeckovich's head every day without an exception. Well, we're getting close to the end of your book. We're on 819. How many pages is that book?
What?
Your book, how many pages?
849 pages.
Jeez.
Something came in too, Dave.
What's that? Let me read this. What happened?
This came in.
Hand it to me. Hand me
This
the
is like
note.
the farthest thing from the farthest place.
Let me hear the
Sergio.
note. Sergio
No, what's
Sergio Jurkovich.
Pull that up.
Sergio
Oh, the
Jurkovich listens to you twice a week from Moscow, Russia.
Moscow, Russia?
Yeah, Sergio Jurkovich.
Look at this.
Yeah, look.
Very nice.
Here's
Huh?
the spelling of his name, Mr. Jeckovich. Sergio Jurkovich.
Jurkovich, yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. He listens to
Where,
you.
where are they from? Moscow?
Moscow. He listens to you from time to time, and he really likes your podcast. And he's hoping to visit you in the United States one day. He wants to take the right chair. He wants to
He
take
wants
the.
to come and visit.
He says your names are so similar, Jeckovich and Jurkovich, but let's talk about those names for a minute, because I remember the September 2024 podcast, you told me you weren't born with the name Jeckovich. What name were you born with?
Or Jeckovich. Why? They made it the J or Y.
This is Sergio. Yerkovic.
It was Y-E-C. Y-E-C. Stevie made, look, Stevie
Well,
made
what was your name originally?
Jeckovich.
Y-E-C-K?
No, it was Y-E-R-K. Stevie
Y-
made,
well,
changed
this
the
is
R
Y-E.
to C.
His is Y-E-R-K.
Huh?
His is Y-E-R-K.
Huh?
His name is Y-E-R-K.
Yeah, well, that was changed after Stevie changed
But
the
this
R.
is the man that
It could have
sent
been
you.
a relative.
That's a common name in Russia.
Oh, is it?
Wow.
This
Like
is
Smith?
the man that sent you that sweater
Yeah.
from Moscow. So in what year or so, how old were you when your name was changed?
Stevie changed it when I was in grade school.
So that's probably, that's 90 years ago.
So, other than that,
It's interesting, we talk about how simple times were back in 1925. Gasoline was 7 and 9 cents a gallon. Cost of a really nice house was $2,000 or $3,000. Cost of a new car was
Send that thank you
$700.
note to 'em.
And here's a great example how things were back then
You can wear that tomorrow.
without all this crazy paperwork and complicated system we had. Mr. Jeckovich's older brother, Stephen Jeckovich, changed his name. How do you do it back then? Simply, this is what my name is, and that's
And
it.
changed it.
There's no filing and all this
No.
posting, simply that way. In a way, it's so much
But see,
nicer,
he didn't want to go to Niagara Street School. He wanted to go to some other school.
right?
He was selective on that too,
Why didn't he want to go to Niagara Street?
because he was second class.
Oh, second class. Uh-huh. So there it is. It's a nice gift from Moscow, and he's hoping to sit the right seat one day.
Uh-huh.
He's hoping to sit at the right seat one day. Right
For
there.
Moscow, Europe,
He
huh?
wants to sit right there, Russia.
Moscow, huh?
He wants to sit right there. What was the name? He also asked in this text and email, what was the town your father grew up in? I did not know.
In Russia, Vladivostok.
It was a hardcore town on the Russian front.
Yeah,
Cold as hell.
What's it called?
up north.
All right, how would you say this again?
Vladivostok.
Okay. Another thing Sergio commented, he's a
23 minutes.
very nice man. He puts in a lot of comments. He says, Mr. Jeckovich, your family came from Russia and Poland, and he hopes to sit the right seat one day next to you and be interviewed. But he wonders why you don't have an accent like most people do.
Because my parents didn't talk their native language. They said, look, we're Americans, we're going to talk Americans.
So your father made the decision, if we're living in the United States, we speak English only.
Yeah, you don't speak your native language.
So that answers Sergio's
Just
question.
listen to Bolinsky next door, how he talks.
Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Let me finish here first. Sergio now knows the reason why you don't speak with an accent is because your father said, you're living in the United States, put all that stuff on the back burner.
We don't talk
speak
English.
Okay, now you mentioned a name, Bolinsky. Tell us how his accent was.
Bolinsky's got a bad accent because they talk Polack at home.
And it was a very
His grandmother and grandfather probably talk it.
was it a very noticeable accent?
Oh yeah,
Like
but
how-
he got that sophisticated accent that he's so smart. It kills him when he starts talking because he got that stupid accent.
Like, give us an idea how it would sound.
Huh?
How would it sound?
How
How would Bolinsky sound when he spoke?
now do what she wants what? Wait, no, you telling me that? Oh no.
Okay, so he had a really deep accent.
Well, not so deep accent, but he's got the stupid. He's got the bullshit in it.
Was he aloof?
Blinsky?
Yeah.
No, I don't say he was a loser. I think he was more, not sophisticated. I think he was just thought he was better than anybody else.
When Kimberly Clark, what Mr. Jeckovich worked at for 35 long years, he always worked to walk to work, never missed a day. By the way, he got cheated out of his pension, but that's another podcast. And did you work with Mr. Bolinsky also?
No, Blinsky worked at another department. We worked at the same building. He worked in the cavalry room. I worked in the machine room.
And did he visit you often?
But at home?
No, and when you worked, did he like to talk with you? And were you two?
Sometimes they come over and they say, you got a hard spot on that number 6 on that roll. They said, you better take care of it. I said, hey, look, we know what we're doing here. We're knocking them off, all right? He was real vindictive. He's going to tell you he knows so much more than you do.
I see.
We were in the machine room. We ran the whole business.
Right.
They got the smartest guys in the machine room.
And he was trying to tell you his business. He was trying to tell you how to run your business.
Yeah, he had a calendar operator. He was a calendar operator.
What's a calendar operator?
It's a big press that it's got rolls that it presses the paper on both sides, so we can print on both sides.
Okay. Okay.
And he sat there and turned it over and stood there.
Well,
But we were the guys in the machine room that did all the work.
yeah. But Niagara Falls, New York, and Buffalo, New York, was many, many, many immigrants from Italy and Poland. And they all came through the hard way and the right way through Ellis Island. And they all did the proper requirements to become citizens, and they never had their hand out, nor would they accept anything they did not earn. They did not earn. They only simply, for example, with Mr. Jeckovich's father, Marion Jeckovich, he simply worked very hard, 3 different jobs, to give his son, John Jeckovich, a better life. And working these jobs very hard, when Mr. Jeckovich's father was 43 years old, on his 3rd job that day, laying cement, he dropped dead of a heart attack, trying to give Mr. Jeckovich a better life. So there's a difference between the immigrants of 100 years ago and the immigrants today, where are nothing but leeches and parasites. Leeches and parasites, to be kind, because this is a family show. This is a family show. So you were just a young boy when your father dropped dead in the cement.
Yeah.
How were you notified of your father?
Police come knocking at the door 8 o'clock that night, said your father got hurt, we're going to take you down to the hospital.
Then what?
They drove me down. I went in, I said, can you tell me where my father is? And the nurse said, I'll take you down. And then when she said down, it hit me in the head. Why is she going down?
Then what?
And why she went, they took me down to the morgue.
And then what did you discover?
Well, my father was laid out there, his eyes were closed, and he's got cement on his face, a little bit of cement, some bits of cement on his pants and that.
Did they tell you to go rifle through his pockets?
And he said, well, you go through his pockets.
And what did you find?
I found that Prince Albert can and the papers that he rolled it up in. I found a couple of keys from the house, a couple quarters, two dimes,
17.
and a couple of pennies.
So this is the beginning of the book. Their mother's sons. Mr. Jeckovich was the sole provider for the family and taking care of his mother from age 11 to his mother's departure from this earth at her aged 89. A little note on the back of Mr. Jeckovich's book. On the back cover reads, "Mother did not relish the role of motherhood, yet she excelled in its functions and responsibilities. She was quick to point out its hardships and tribulations, but did not ask for help." Your mother never asked for help, right?
No.
Nor seek out sympathy. She didn't want to be sympathized with. She was a stern taskmaster, always seeking the best for her children, narrowed by her own limited experience and knowledge. Her one outstanding trait was her integrity, and unabated loyalty to those she cared and loved for. Mother's unflinching religion also stood her in a good stead. Mother was a Mr. Jeckovich's mother, Anna Targus Jeckovich, was a devout Catholic, played the rosary every night, while Mr. Jeckovich was in many battles, including the Battle of Bulge during World War II, and this, I believe, is the sole reason why Mr. Jeckovich is here today. His mother's prayers saved his life, even though he suffered great injuries. Although her deep religious convictions were staunch support for her, the one struggle she constantly fought against was a severe sense of loneliness, which was always with her. Well, when you got married to Delphine Stulak, there wasn't much loneliness left.
Oh, she's the best thing my mother, yeah.
Because your wife Delphine and her were two peas in the pod.
Yeah.
They were always together.
Yeah.
Always together.
Yeah. That was the best thing for the weather.
Best of friends. Best thing that happened to both. Even though she would never admit to its hold on her, it was quite apparent to anyone who loved her. But when Delphine moved in, when she got married with you, Delphine and her in the same house always got along well,
Yeah.
and there was no more loneliness.
Well, that wasn't Delphine's personality or Delphine, that wouldn't have happened. If he had like Michelle there or somebody like that.
Oh, you wouldn't work.
It wouldn't
work.
My mother would just turned her head out.
It wouldn't work. That name don't bring up in this studio. I don't even want to get into it. It's a family show. But you're right, it wouldn't work.
No.
You have a special personality. You can't be a person that you can't be a person that has true severe mental problems and is hateful and spiteful and selfish. It would never work. So you have to have a person that's honest, loving, and family-like.
True honest, true loving.
Yeah. You certainly couldn't put a person that's a sociopath and no empathy in a situation to take care of your mother. Well, I'm glad Delphine Stulak had all those traits, and they certainly got around quite well.
Oh, yeah. He had a good reputation, that poor kid.
Quite well. Do you know, I just have a text that came in that Delphine Stulak, her license driver's license doesn't expire to 2027.
2027?
Yeah. And we have to renew yours in a few months. It's going to expire.
Well, I can't drive.
The hell you can't.
I can't drive with this foot. No.
We'll discuss it off air, but we got a brand new Dodge electric truck that has the hand controls on the steering wheel. Let's talk after.
I'm not driving.
Shh. We'll just talk after, not here.
Okay.
Listen, Sergio sent another text. Yeah. Could he sit right seat?
Okay.
Could he be right seat?
Do what?
Sergio's asking you right now. He just texted me. He's watching us live. Could he be right seat?
Who's that?
Sergio from Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's it. You heard it from the man. Sergio says you could sit. Mr. Jeckovich says you could sit right seat. And if you have family, kids, wife, brothers, sisters, bring them all.
Now wait a minute.
This is a big studio. He's coming to the United States. He's coming to the United States to visit, and he's also looking for a sponsor to sponsor him to get into the United States. So we'll see what happens. He needs a sponsor. So you two are just like the same name.
Yeah, but don't.
He says you even look like his father.
Yeah, but don't push that guy.
Let's talk off air. But yeah, so Sergio, bring the whole.
I had Dave Noss here the other day, and I had enough of him.
No. He's a wonderful guy. Yes, but Dave's a wonderful guy. Okay. Oh boy. Well, give me your dog tag number so I can.
42965.
Okay, we're getting close to the end of this book. I know you. I can't help me. I know you're working on the second book. Where's the staff? Is there a staff in here?
Yeah.
Can I have a coffee, please, and check our minutes? We're paying by the minute in this damn place. I want to get my use out of it, for Christ's sakes.
11 minutes.
What do you want, a coffee?
Okay, listen. Here's the situation. We're on page 819. How many pages are your book again?
849.
Okay. You're working on your second book.
Yeah.
You need to get busy. I need a couple chapters, like in a month, because this thing's going to be over with. This is going to be over with.
I've got a book I set up a couple months ago.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to read just a couple pages. Yes, Sergio, he's coming in again. Yes, it's all approved. Come, I'll give you all the details in about 20 minutes. Listen, I'll read a couple pages, but we still have a lot of text messages. You feel up to answering text?
Yeah.
Let me read 2 pages, and then we'll go to the text. Okay. It was all time-consuming ordeal. This is closing of the laundromat. It was a time-consuming ordeal, and the item I dreaded the most was breaking up the concrete pads on each side of the store. There was about like 10 to 20 tons of concrete.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who laid all this concrete?
Well, we did it. I mean,
God.
Empire pulled it, but they broke it up and we had to haul it out. I got Vitulo to haul it out, help me
You're a hard
haul it
worker,
out.
just like your father, hard worker. Yeah. Excuse me. Could you send Sergio a text that he's welcome?
Yes, I
He
will right
keeps,
now.
yeah, because I don't think he's.
Don't push it. No.
He wants to see you. He wants a rewrite seat. We'll go from there.
He's from Moscow.
Yeah, same last name as yours. Similar. He wants to sit right seat, so let's see what he has to say. I rented a compressor and a jackhammer, and after a solid week of breaking up concrete and having Vitello,
Vitulo.
Who's that?
Guy next door.
Okay. Hauling away, the biggest chore was out of the way. I had Kuntz. Is that Clyde Kuntz?
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
I had Kuntz help me at times, but as usual, he was not dependable.
No, he wasn't. No.
He was not dependable, but he was a nice enough man, wasn't he?
Huh?
He was a nice enough man.
Oh, yeah.
Did you think he had drinking
spent all his time in Canada.
Did you think he had drinking problems and he started to be unreliable?
The what?
Do you think he might have had drinking problems?
No, he didn't drink. No, he didn't
Because
drink.
you told me one time in a September reading that he came to your house and emptied out his garbage.
Oh, yeah. They went to Pennsylvania and they put all the stuff in the back seat. And when he came over, he had it in bags and it came over, dumped it over. And I said, what are you going to do? He said, this is the stuff we picked up. I want you to take care of it. I said, well, why didn't you stop at the dump and dump it in there?
So it was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way he thought.
I had Kuntz help me at times, and as usual, he was not dependable enough and finally stopped coming around. Delphine and I did invite him and his wife for a farewell dinner at the house, and they both attended. Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
Clyde
maybe
came-
we're moving down here.
Yeah. A rigging company was hired to remove the boiler and put it in storage, which consumed all of 2 days. That boiler was heavy.
Yeah, that's where we had the fire, too.
Yeah. All the washers and dryers were disconnected and moved to the front of the store. They were eventually put in storage along with the vending machine, extractor, and a long folding table. When you were disassembling the store, did you still have customers coming in, wondering what was going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sad.
Well, they knew that they were going to shut me down because they were going to tear me down because they put the convention center in.
Yeah. The public phone booth was returned to the telephone company, and all the spare parts and sundry equipments were also removed and put into storage. Some small items kept for the emotional attachment I had developed for them, such as the one of the washers. What'd you do with the one washer?
I put it down in the basement. Delphine used it for a long time.
Did you do it gravity fed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put a pad downstairs.
Gravity fed.
Same as I had up in the store.
Who laid the pad?
Huh? I did. I put the form up.
Boy, just like your father.
When the Empire got bags of cement and put it in.
Just like your father. Which I installed in the basement at home. It did our laundry for many years. It worked fine, right?
It worked good, yeah. I saw those put a couple of motors in it. That was
Okay. I spent most of my working hours at the store when I was not working at Kimberly-Clark, and toward the end of the month, all the equipment was moved out into storage. On Sunday night, October 4th, was it snowing?
Yeah.
On Sunday night, October 4th, 1965. Oh my word. I turned the key in the front door for the last time. It was almost 5 years ago to the day we first entered the store, and we now were to put it out of our lives forever.
Well, they tore that down maybe a week after that.
Yeah. It was a sad time, and I was mostly affected by it. It was a lot like losing a dear friend, and I was saddened by the experience. We left it as we entered it by ourselves and with no fanfare, and no one by our side comforting us in a time of anguish and sorrowful.
Well, DeLuca gave us another bunch of flowers to put in for staying away. That stupid DeLuca, yeah. Oh, hello.
Delphine was disheartened by the closing, as she had also been attached to the store.
5.5.
We both put much time into the endeavor, and now it was all for naught, and we're now in a state of disbelief and incredulous at the outcome.
I had to get used to it because I was used to the damn place.
Yeah, you're always there.
I was sad to leave it.
Yeah, I'm glad sounds it. We had no further plan, plus you made good money there.
Oh yeah, I didn't spend any of my money in there.
Right. We had no further plans for opening another. The location at the north end,
Well, we looked around, but there was nothing. Not the way the culture was turning.
the location at the north end we were so counting on did not materialize, and there was no other place that we could turn to. In the end, after being in storage for several months, the equipment was sold for a fraction of what we paid to a broker dealing in laundry machinery. It was a final blow in a series of setbacks that had brought us to the point. Looking back at it all, we did not regret our adventure into the world for our dreams. It had been enlightening and stimulating, but now it was over, and we had to find another avenues of expression and creativity. So that's a good point. Now, I did put in this chart here, in this book, some type of text.
All right,
Do you feel like answering any of them?
go ahead.
Mr. Jeckovich, since you grew up in the Niagara Falls, did you do much sledding?
Sledding?
Yeah, sledding. With toboggans and things.
Oh yeah, toboggan, skiing, ice skating, yeah.
What was your biggest challenge in the mornings when you had to store?
In the morning,
Yeah,
I would never go to the store in the morning. I either work it or I'll physically go to check it.
how old were you, Mr. Jeckovich? Because he knew Niagara Falls was a family town. He's from Batavia. How old were you when the last time you went trick-or-treating? When did you stop going trick-or-treating?
When I was 14, 15.
Okay.
I mean, for Halloween.
Yeah. Mr. Jeckovich, we know you're an avid reader, but what was the last book you read?
Well, the last book I read?
Yeah.
About a week ago.
What was it?
What was it? Fantastic Sam.
Okay.
No, Good Luck Running.
Okay. Minutes?
2.5.
Are you more of a homebody, Mr. Jeckovich, or a person about town?
I'm a homebody, come on.
I'm just reading the text. So you're more of a homebody.
Why would you ask that question?
These are texts that came in over months ago, and I compiled them in this draft.
How did it come up?
I don't know, just people text me, and I print it out in this.
What did they say? What did they ask you?
They asked me, are you more of a homebody or a person about town?
They asked you.
And they ask you through my text, and I put in this ledger and I read it to you. Mr. Jeckovich, what do you think of CNN?
Seeing it in the news?
Yeah,
It was good.
okay.
What the hell's got that to do with anything?
It's just these text messages, you feel up to, I mean, these are people from all around the world, so they have different ideas about things. Mr. Jeckovich, do you have any, Mr. Jeckovich, do you have any enemies?
Enemies?
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
okay. They seen you on wearing your sunglasses the other day on the podcast. Mr. Jeckovich, do you wear sunglasses inside also?
Inside
Inside of a
sunglasses
Yeah.
inside?
You were wearing them here last time.
Huh?
You were wearing them when we videoed last time, sunglasses. Do you wear your sunglasses inside?
Are you talking sunglasses or reading glasses?
Sunglasses.
I don't wear sunglasses.
Well, we had a few videos of you wearing them.
35 seconds.
Okay, so we got another one in the books. We have another one in the books. What do you want to do now?
Watch Trump. What time is it?
Let me check. Let me check.
8:10. Well, you got another 40 minutes.
We're in
Yeah.
good shape. So, minutes?
18 seconds.
So you got another one in the books, Mr. Jeckovich. I have about 78 more text messages to read, and if you're up to it, I'll read you a couple each day.
Well, read them now.
No, the studio's over with.
We're out of time.